So one of the most popular takes right now, and once again, you guys are on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. We're on all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Make sure you guys hit a subscribe or something for us, all right? And you can also comment, ask for a shirt. We have our own shirts now, all righty? We can get you going on that. But all the top 10 debates around Steph Curry, and I don't mind that. That is an argument that can be made.
The consensus is that with the fourth title, he's now a top 10 all-time player.
And nothing's wrong with that. You can make that debate whether I agree or not. That's cool. The problem I have is most of the guys I'm hearing, whether it's on social media, whether it's on TV, and what happens is one of the talking heads, as we were talking about kind of off camera, they'll make a comment, and then all of the guys who don't really watch basketball on social media, they'll just copy whatever that guy said, the Stephen A's, the Skips, and all of that stuff. And the running concession is, okay, we're going to take Wilt Chamberlain out of the top 10, and then we're going to replace him with Steph Curry. And that's why I have an issue. That's why I have a problem, man.
I didn't know that. I really didn't realize that Will was 10.
That Wilt was 10?
Yeah, I didn't. I
don't think it was that he was on the bubble to get out. I just think.
But if that's the way people are feeling, clearly they're looking at him as 10.
They don't assess logically. They just
and you do.
Of course.
Okay.
They just pick a name that doesn't make sense out of the 10s because we all saw Shaq, we saw Kobe, we saw Jordan, and you get down to the last two guys that you haven't seen before, which is Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, and you say, okay, naturally, we have to kick the guy. We got to keep the guy that won 11 titles and got to kick out the guy that didn't win 11 titles. And that's Wilt.
That's
right. So, and that's what I'm here to talk about because we actually talked about off air too. We're going to dedicate a larger show to this and the greatest athletes to ever play professional sports. And so this is my thing, right? As far as the Wilt Chamberlain thing, you cannot kick Wilt Chamberlain out of the top 10 for Steph Curry. You just can't do it. You can't kick Wilt Chamberlain out at all. And I used to bang my head against the wall talking to guys because their main argument.
I've noticed some CTE symptoms.
Yeah. Their main argument is Wilt played against, guys, shorter guys and guys who wouldn't play basketball today, right? It played against a bunch of
J.J. Redick,
short white guys. Yeah, plumbers and
fighters.
And firemen. So that's the argument, right? So there's that equals out to Wilt wouldn't be able to do and put up the numbers he did back then today in the 1960s and today.
But nobody in the history of basketball put up the numbers that Wilt put up at any time.
At any time. And there's a reason for that. And nobody wants to think like, okay, how did he put that up and nobody else put that up? You know what I mean? Like he crossed paths with Kareem. Nobody wants to kick Kareem out of the top 10. Wilt and Kareem played against each other. They didn't So here's my thing. And the reason that it was because Wilt Chamberlain is the greatest athlete to ever grace the planet Earth.
Really?
The best athlete to ever be known as a human being. Okay? That's why you cannot take him out of the top 10. That's why he would put up the same numbers he did back then in 1962 that he would in 2022.
I would not go that far.
I would go extremely
I would not go that far.
And this is why. Okay, so you can discount the 100-point game that he scored. You can discount that he averaged 50 points a game. Okay?
Did you see the meme with Jason Tatum and the 100 turnovers?
Yeah, he had the Wilt Chamberlain. Okay. Now, these numbers are reported, but they're also it's like track and field is something that it's not basketball, right? You can go back to the 1930s and whatever that guy ran, that's how fast he was. It was reported, it was timed, it was a guy there, that's just it, right? There's no argument there. People don't argue what Jesse Owens ran.
It's beyond debate.
Okay. So these are some of the things that Wilt Chamberlain did, okay? He's 7'1", his entire career, of course. For the most of his career, he's 275 pounds. 7'1", 275-pound man doing this, all right? Let's go strength first. He's a big man. He's supposed to be strong. But Wilt Chamberlain is the strongest man to ever play in basketball. He's reported to bench 355 pounds. 550 pounds.
Really?
550 pounds. You might say, okay, now in comparison, Shaquille O'Neal and Ben Wallace are the second strongest men to ever play in the NBA. Their highest bench is 450 pounds. So Wilt outbenched them by 100 pounds. All right. Arnold Schwarzenegger is reported to, over the course of 5 years, beg Wilt Chamberlain to enter the strongest man in the world competition because he was just literally that strong.
They worked together in Conan.
Yes.
And that would be when Wilt was already retired and probably in his 40s.
40s. Yes. All right. All right. Speed. All right. You might say, okay, he's a 7'1", 275-pound man. Wilt Chamberlain ran a 4.6. All right. A 4.6 in the 40-yard dash. 7'1", 275-pound center. This is accurate stuff. All right. You might say, okay.
Just imagine what Mel Kiper would do.
You might say, okay, 4.6. What is 4.6? Okay. 4.6 is ran, Jerry Rice ran a 4.7.
That was the first name I was going to say.
Okay. Antonio Brown, short, 5'11" receiver.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Ran a 4.6. Ran a 4.6 in the 40. Wilt Chamberlain and Antonio Brown runs the same 40-yard dash.
That's absurd.
Okay. Track and field again. He ran a 10.9 in the 100-yard dash.
Okay.
At 35 years old.
At 35, that's impressive.
You know what I mean? All right.
Who still keeps 100-yard dash times?
He ran track and field.
But we've moved to the 100 meters.
Oh, 100 meters.
It's a difficult
Well,
division.
I mean, this is back in the I'm trying to tell you, this is, you know what I mean, back in the day, my man. All right. Okay, the continue, right? Hold on, I got my Wilt notes here. Okay, he beat Jim Brown in the foot race. We know that. Okay, so we talked about speed. We talked about strength. Now, he can jump. Me and Pink talked yesterday. He said he saw a highlight of Wilt, what?
Yeah, somebody was posted some sort of highlight montage of Wilt, and he was like pulling balls like above the rim and initiating fast breaks.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally looked unfair for the rest of the people on the court.
Wilt
Those
Chamberlain,
plumbers and firefighters.
a 7'1", 275-pound man, had a 48-inch vertical leap. Now, to put that in comparison, because people, 48 inch, you might say, well, what is that? People know Vince Carter, right? Vince Carter, he has to have some hops, right? Vince Carter's highest vertical leap tested was 43 inches.
Okay.
Wilt Chamberlain had a 48-inch vertical leap at 7'1", 275 pounds. He would destroy the Senators today. What are you talking about? All right, what are we talking about? Joel Embiid, who is my favorite center of right now, he's slow, man.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
slow. He's out of shape most of the time.
He's probably not breaking 5 on the 40.
Now let's speak about out of shape. Wilt Chamberlain leads in league NBA history as far as minutes played per game. He would consistently play 45 to 46 minutes per game up until he was 35 years old.
One year he played over 48 minutes a game, which meant he literally played every minute of the season.
In a game that was more fast-paced than even in 2022.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, that's 1,000% fact, and that's why.
What are you citing for that?
Well, that's why the rebound numbers are more like crazy. That's why the rebound numbers
bad shooting.
As accurate, huh?
That was bad shooting.
No, it's because the game was played at a much faster pace.
Oh no, man!
Like a shot was put up within like 12 seconds in the 1960s. Then it slowed down in the 70s. And that's why his rebounding numbers took a significant drop from the 60s to 70s. He would average 25 to 30 rebounds a game. Then in the 1970s, it went down to 15 to 14 when the game adjusted. You know what I mean? So, right. So that's what I'm saying. You can't take Wilt out because Wilt is the most athletic man in the history of sports. All right?
Okay.
All right.
So who would you take out?
I would take out Bill.
Bill Russell.
Yeah.
And his 11 championships.
Bill Russell played with 6 Hall of Famers. Like I don't understand what's the big thing about Bill Russell. He played with 6 Hall of Famers. That means if Steph Curry played with Clay, Kevin Durant, you had Chris Bosh coming off the bench, you had LeBron James on the team. You had he played with all of those guys.
He did not play with those level guys.
Yes, he did.
No.
They literally had the best outside of Wilt Chamberlain and
nobody else on
Bellamy.
Bill Russell's team is mentioned in the top 10 discussion at all.
Well, it was only
And
him.
you just dropped LeBron and KD.
It's only him and Wilt discussing the top 10 discussion.
Right.
But look at the Hall of Fame. All right?
Right.
In comparison, hold on.
There's levels to the Hall of Fame, and Bill Russell's teammates were not in the upper tier. Hall of Fame
okay.
inductees.
So there's levels to the Hall of Fame.
There is, for
Okay.
sure.
Well, what about the teammates that Wilt had that weren't in the Hall of Fame? Well, they have to be worse than Bill's Hall of Fame teammates, right? Wilt Chamberlain had one Hall of Fame teammate for his first 4 years in his career. One.
Who was it?
So he was,
Who was it?
Hal Greer. Because Hal
Greer.
Greer came in 1956. He was an older player. So he's playing against Bill Russell's 7 total Hall of Famers. That means when 2 guys go to the bench, they replace those 2 guys. Now they always got 5 Hall of Famers on the court. Wilt has one teammate for 4 years that's a Hall of Famer. So he's 2 against 7, right? That's what that is. And then in year 5 comes along a very great player, Billy Cunningham, for that time, who was Wilt Chamberlain's second Hall of Fame teammate.
Billy
And hold on,
Cunningham,
and it's not coincidental.
The guy who went on to coach the Sixers?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And it's not coincidental that the first year that he gets Billy Cunningham, the first year, they beat the Boston Celtics. It's not coincidental. He only the first year he gets a little more help. He beats Bill Russell and the Celtics.
So all it took was Billy Cunningham.
And Hal Greer.
Oh, and Hal Greer, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you can't just okay that, man. That's not an okay moment. This team is a powerhouse. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes a lot to beat a team. It's not Bill Russell. Bill Russell shot 40% from the field as a center, less than 2 feet away from the rim. He shot 40%. All right, shot 40%.
I think I could do that.
His main thing was defense. He held Wilt Chamberlain to 40, to be technical, 35 points a game over his career, 35 and 20 rebounds a game. That's what he held Wilt Chamberlain to. Andre Iguodala won the Finals MVP for holding LeBron James to at least 30 points a game. You know what I mean? In comparison.
It is.
Take Bill Russell out, and I don't want to hear him mention again. All right? I don't want to hear him mention.
All right. Are you going to go shit in Bill's bed again?
No.
That wasn't
But
you.
this will this will be revisited at a later date.
Okay.
All right. We're going to take a breather here.
You need a breather after that explosion.
I'm going to take a breather here, and then we're going to get our main guy, Darnell.